Hey there, this is Peter Hayden from SharePoint.com. Today I'm looking at the SharePoint Server 2013 preview and getting that installed in a virtual environment as quickly as we can so we can start evaluating the preview. So the first thing I've done is I've headed over to the TechNet website for the SharePoint Server 2013 preview and gone through a couple of the steps on their site to get started. So the first thing I've done, I've had a look at the hardware software requirements. The first thing I sort of noticed is there's some big differences in terms of the amount of RAM you'll need to start running in different scenarios here. For as little as 8 gig for the foundation to 24 gig for built-in database single server. This virtual environment I'm on now, I've only got 4 gig available to try that on. So we'll see how it goes with that, but I can start seeing now when we start going to this gets released for manufacturing or RTM later. We're going to start seeing some issues where we need to have bigger virtual environments to cater for SharePoint 2013. So I've registered the evaluation, which was I clicked on Get Started Now. I entered my live ID in and a download started for me. So I'm now downloading that. That's about 2 gig and it's coming down now. And I'll pause this recording on the way while we're having to wait for things to happen. I've started receiving my emails from Microsoft, which has the product key included in it. Basically saying thank you for downloading, and there's some resource link that I'll check out later. So I'll pause it now, we'll come back once this download's finished and we can start installing. I have prepped a SharePoint 2012, or sorry, Windows 2012 environment with SQL 2012 installed. This is running a domain controller all sort of localized, and so we'll see how that goes when we install it. Okay, so the download is finished, so I'm going to launch. This is an image file that it came down as. We'll see what happens. Yes, I'm going to launch that image file. We'll keep using Explorer, so we can open that up. Okay, so it's detected this image file, mounted as a CD-ROM, I guess. Now the first thing I'll do is I'll just run this as a prerequisite installer, like we had the SharePoint, but I'm going to run the setup and see what that experience is like. So I'm sticking this CD in for the first time. Okay, so really you can see a few errors here. Looks like it's needing some prerequisites, so I'll close this and launch the prerequisite installer first. So this looks pretty familiar, like we did with the SharePoint 2010, .NET Framework 4.5. There's a few different bits and pieces here, and we'll go through and just let it do its thing. I'll come back when this is complete and we'll keep going then. Okay, the installation of prereqs has been completed. It took just under 10 minutes. After it finished installing iOS components, you had to restart the server, and it tried to restart the prereq installer after reboot, but I hadn't mounted the image file at that stage, so I just relaunched it manually and away it went. So that's now finished. So let's try and see what happens when we run setup, and see if we get a better response than we did last time. Okay, so setup errors. System reset from previous installation update is pending. Reset the computer continues. So I'll do that and then relaunch this. I've restarted the server and I'm just going to run setup now to try and enter the product key. So I just attempted this before to paste the details in, but it crashed and we had to end task. So I'll just this is the key that is available on the website for the preview. GW H36 VM GQH 94mmH. press continue. So I'll accept the terms of this agreement and continue again. I'm going to put in default locations. I've only got one disk on this virtual machine. It looks the same as what we saw in the past, and we'll let it do the bits install, and then we'll come back when that's finished to do the configuration. Okay, I've just come back and had a look at the progress, and the installation of the bits is finished, and now it's time to run the SharePoint product configuration wizard and start configuring SharePoint for our environment. So the welcome splash screen, it's going to restart some services. Notice those haven't sort of updated to the next version, but we're going to create a new server farm. The database server is the local host, which is called test. Now I'm just going to use, and be very lazy, and put in my administrator account, which is okay just for getting a quick to speed demo, but definitely not to be using any sort of mainstream environment. Okay, I'm just going to set a passphrase and click next. And so far nothing out of the ordinary that we're seeing. I like to specify a support number, something we'll call it 2013, easy to remember, and I'm going to use NTLM just so we can get things going. Okay, that looks alright. Our database server, we've got our database name, we want to host it 2013 NTLM. Let's click next. Alright, I'll pause this now and come back when that's finished. Okay, the SharePoint product configuration wizard has now finished, and no errors came up, so I'm going to press finish now and see what happens. So kind of expect it's going to try and launch central administration for us. Okay, so we're just loading up IE. Now while I was going, I loaded SQL Studio Management Studio, and just having a look at databases created. So the admin and main config database as expected. Let's see what's happening over here. So we're definitely seeing some activity. IS is busy doing its usual ramp up. So while I'm waiting for this, I'm just noticing that my PC disk is fairly active, trying to load central admin. So I can imagine that if you're doing this for a dev environment for local development, you may start finding your disk I/O subsystem is starting to be a bit of a bottleneck waiting for this to launch. So here comes central administration, and welcome. It's working on something. Sure, I'll contribute to Customer Experience Improvement Program. Don't usually, but this is a preview. Okay, so we have the opportunity to run a wizard to configure our SharePoint farm. Now, usually this is 2010. This is usually a steer clear of doing this. Pretty much a bad idea to run it. It gives you database GUIDs in the names, and there were some issues with user profile service, but I'm going to start the wizard. Just being the preview, I want to get in and just sort of see what it's like. So already while we're waiting for the wizard to run, I'm just going to look down the left here. We've got some of the usual things. We've got our application management system settings, monitoring, backup, restore, security, upgrade migration, general application settings, and this apps looks new for SharePoint 2013. Okay, it's asking what service account I want to use. So this is good. I'm going to again be lazy and just use my administrator account. Now I can choose which services to turn on. So let's have a look through those. Access services. They're normal. App management, business, data activity, Excel, the machine translation service, so that looks new. Management data service same, performance point, PowerPoint conversion service application, so that conversion service looks new. Search, secure store state service. Usage and health collection user profile service application. Physiographic service word, and work management service application. So service provides task aggregation across work management, so that looks new as well. I'm going to leave those as default and just press next. It tells me at the top that it's working on it, so I'm going to, and it's apologising that it's going to keep us waiting for a while. So I'll again pause this video here and come back once it's finished working on it. Okay, after about 10-15 minutes, this has come back, and it's now asking me to create a site collection that I can use on my test site. So it's already created a web application for me. So I might just put in there and call this home. It's taking a while to get. There we go. And just create a home. Now let's look at. It's got here some templates to select. Just take. It doesn't seem to have taken that website address. There we go. We've got some templates that we can select. Let's look at this experience version. So one of the new features I just read on the site is you can click which experience we want to use. We want to try out the 2013 experience, and let's use it as a classic sort of team site, which gets used a lot. Now I can skip this if I want to, but I want to try this out and see how we go. So we'll create a new site collection for ourselves. Okay, so just while I'm waiting for that to process, just looking at the window here, we've got this news feed, which, look at the URL on the bottom left, looks like it's going to a My Site collection. So that's, getting the social aspects. We've got access to a SkyDrive button, so it's looking at the URL, again connecting someone's My Site to their documents, and also to their sites as well. So there's a couple of new sort of buttons there on the browser. So also at the top we have a new button called Settings. I wonder if that's like our site action, site settings, or something else, some help. And we've got give feedback, so it must be part of the customer experience program, giving feedback to the technical preview. We also have options here to share. Give people access to the site, so it looks like security permissions, and then another button here for focusing on content. So I'm not sure what that is. We'll have to see if we can find that later and see what it does. Okay, this looks like it'll take a few minutes, so I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, I've come back after a couple of minutes, and as reported, the file creation is now complete. I have a test home site collection, so I'm just going to click on that, control click on that to open that new tab. There it goes, and it tells me all the service applications that it has created. So I'm just trying to scroll down. I've noticed one of the main problems on this VM is that it doesn't have enough RAM. It is just paging like crazy, which is why it's taken a while to sort of process this. But there's all applications, and I'll click Finish to just get off this page and hopefully take us back to central administration. This concludes the first part of our unboxing, and I'll come back with another video shortly showing how we get these sites going.